In the distance, laughter begins to rise, soft at first, like a faint crackle of static through a forgotten radio. It cascades over the silence, unnervingly buoyant yet threaded with something darker. A jester emerges, cloaked in brilliance, yet bearing a presence that feels more shadow than substance. This is no ordinary jester. Their grin seems to twist beyond the natural constraints of joy, and their eyes glimmer, not with light, but with an invitation to something cryptic, something that waits just below the surface. At first glance, they are only a figure of mischief, but each movement feels purposeful, every note of their laughter carefully placed. What's hiding in the folds of this echo? The spirals begin to turn, slowly, deliberately. Each rotation seems to pull you further in, as though the screen itself holds a gravity all its own. But it's more than just the spirals. Somewhere within the jester's laughter, rhythmic yet uneven, lies a cadence that feels out of place. A pause here, a sharp intake there. These aren't random, they don't feel random. And when paired with the spirals, something begins to take shape, a whisper of something encoded. An unseen puzzle woven into the fabric of the sound and the motion. With every replay, it feels closer. What does the jester know that you don't? There's a peculiar weight to their laughter now. It doesn't merely travel through the ears, it resonates, settling somewhere deeper. It's the kind of sound you remember long after the echo fades. But why? What's been planted? Look closely, listen carefully. The spiral turns, twisting inward endlessly. Nestled in its center, the jester winks, or does it only feel like they do? Their presence isn't static. It shifts, spills into corners of the screen where shadows shouldn't be. The clues are here, but they won't be easy to see. Techniques of mischief are at work, and the jester thrives in this space of mystery. Of all the questions forming in your mind right now, one stands sharper than the rest. Where does the clue begin, and what might it lead to? The jester emerges not as a mere source of amusement, but as a master manipulator within their world of spirals and shadows. Their intentions are never fully clear, yet always undeniably deliberate. Each laugh they release carries an eerie duality, equal parts joy and menace. It is as though their voice creates ripples in the air, bending reality into distorted fragments. They weave riddles like threads in a tapestry, binding their clues together for only the most perceptive to untangle. To outsiders, the jester's games feel chaotic, even nonsensical. But beneath the facade lies precision, a deliberate design waiting for those clever enough to decode its secrets. Their symbols are deceptively simple, maybe just shapes or markings you could overlook at first glance. Yet every mark serves a purpose, every placement part of a puzzle. They're drawn to contradictions, order hidden in chaos, clarity laced within confusion. To them, misdirection is art, a canvas of scrambled meaning where curiosity is the brush and persistence creates the masterpiece. The unsettling part, though, isn't just the method. It's the jester's uncanny ability to anticipate you. It feels like they know what step you'll take next before you do, leaving just enough of a trail to lure you deeper into their encoded labyrinth. Through it all, the laughter remains, ever present and intangible, like an unsettling echo in the void. The sound itself shifts frequencies, sometimes bouncing with playful highs, sometimes coursing through with deeper, sinister notes. It feels sharp enough to pierce, yet hollow enough to haunt. To hear it is to feel watched, cornered. But the jester wants you to listen closely. Their laughter carries layered intention. Somewhere in its cadence hides their truth, or perhaps their invitation, a call to piece together the symbols they've scattered like breadcrumbs within spiraling realms. The bigger question emerges. Is it a game of wit, or a warning cloaked in mischief? The laughter begins as a faint ripple in the still air, barely audible at first, like a whisper threaded through distant winds. It doesn't simply exist. It evolves, tumbling into a cacophony of discordant tones that spiral outward, scattering like shattered glass. Each note it strikes feels deliberate, an unsettling orchestration masked as chaos. But listen closely. Beneath the surface, beneath the high-pitched cackles and velvet whispers, there are patterns, irregularities that pulse with hidden intent. Could it be merely a trick of perception, or is there an unseen language encoded in the sound itself, waiting to be unraveled? The echoes of the jester's laugh linger, doubling back on themselves like a hall of mirrors, each reverberation distorting the original melody just enough to feel off. In those echoes, faint chimes emerge, brief, metallic sounds that don't belong in laughter but weave themselves into its fabric. Symbols play upon the mind's ear, simple yet maddeningly elusive, as if they form a forgotten script spoken only through vibration. These sonic symbols seem to flit through the gaps, never fully revealing themselves yet impossible to ignore, hinting that the jester has embedded their riddle not in sight, but in sound. In moments of silence, the laugh does not truly fade, it lurks. It seeps into the negative space like a phantom, its intricate notes still vibrating just beneath the threshold of conscious awareness. There, in the void it leaves behind, symbols coalesce faintly, shapes reminiscent of ancient glyphs or musical notes that have been shifted and skewed, as if molded from both noise and absence. These symbols feel almost alive, teasing recognition, threatening revelation. What message lies hidden in those echoing remains? To unlock it, one must navigate through the spiraling maze of sound and silence alike. The spiral, a shape as ancient as it is hypnotic, demands attention, no matter how subtly it appears. Its curved geometry has long been associated with cycles, corridors of thought, and pathways that both open and constrict. In the context of the jester's encoded mystery, it serves a dual purpose: distraction and direction. Each spiral that spins on the screen appears harmless, almost meditative, yet it arrests the viewer's gaze, pulling them into its continuous flow, a motion without end. The jester understands this allure. Wherever the spirals surface, they seem to lead toward deeper layers or conceal traces of their hidden intent. And yet, the spiral is not merely a distraction. It doubles as a metaphorical crossroads, a symbol lurking in the jester's encoded world. In myths and mysteries alike, spirals point in two opposing directions, into chaos or toward clarity, a design as ambiguous as the jester's motives themselves. When viewers follow the spirals, they unwind encrypted elements hidden in plain sight, though far from lineated or straightforward. It's no accident that these symbols appear most often where the answers are obscured. The jester's laughter echoes predictably near these coils, a reminder of something unseen pressing against the edges of comprehension. Each symbol you decode risks tangling further into the spiral's grasp. For those entranced by the spirals, they become more than just aesthetic markers. They evolve into guides that bait curiosity. This visual emblem is, in many ways, the jester's silent hand, pushing or pulling participants toward choices they're compelled to make. The hypnotic twist masks intentional design, making it impossible to discern whether it helps or hinders. Paired with laughter that grows distant one moment and unbearably loud the next, participants are forced to question whether they're escaping the spiral's depths or plunging deeper into them. The dichotomy of the spiral reveals the game's underlying paradox: progress and confusion entwined as unrelenting partners. Look closely at the jester's stage. Notice how the colors seem to ripple and the shapes rearrange themselves when viewed from different angles. What appears random at first begins to form a quiet pattern. Patches of red, blue, and yellow dance in combinations too deliberate to ignore. It's as though the jester's design contains a secret language, veiled in the masquerade of chaos. Could it be that the color choices aren't arbitrary, but instead align into something meaningful when paired with the spirals? Or is it meant to misdirect, a trick of the eye while your focus is pulled elsewhere? Then, there are the sounds. The jester's laughter only scratches the surface. Beneath it lies a resonance that twists and warps like an echo caught in a hall of mirrors. Hidden tones overlap, morph, repeat, and there is rhythm in the chaos. But rhythm with purpose. Some claim distinct notes stand out, scattered like breadcrumbs tied to the colors you've seen. Colors, tones, and spirals, three threads woven together in the jester's cryptic masquerade. Are they aligned through coincidence, or some intricate design demanding decoding? There's no simple answer. Not yet. Finally, let's consider the shapes themselves, the triangles, circles, and squares embedded in the spirals. Certain forms seem to repeat more often than others, their arrangement stirring an uncomfortable sense of familiarity, as though you've seen this dance of geometry before. Pay attention to their subtle shifts at the edge of your vision. Are they meant to synchronize with the peculiar tones, or perhaps the colors? Or is this another sleight of hand, a misdirection born from the jester's never-ending jest? These questions are the heart of the enigma, and just like their laughter, the answers lie tauntingly out of reach, veiled behind meaning disguised as madness. The laughter isn't just noise. It's a taunt, sharp, calculated, and brimming with layers of intent. What at first seemed like random mirth is now revealed as something far darker. Listen closely, and you'll hear it. A rhythmic pulse, a syncopation of sound that lays in wait, daring someone bold enough to decipher its construction. The jester didn't simply leave these symbols scattered without thought. They're breadcrumbs, intentionally placed to challenge, intrigue, and perhaps deceive. If the spirals were the guide, the laughter is the key, and the jester is watching, waiting to see who can turn it in the lock. Each laugh reverberates with more than just emotion. It carries structure, a cryptic order tucked behind the mask of chaos. Some would dismiss it as coincidence, but this precise interplay between sound and symbol betrays a meticulous design. There's a sly intelligence here, one that demands attention. Nothing in this game is accidental. Consider the simplicity of the symbols encoded within the sound. They're basic enough to be accessible, but elusive enough to send you spiraling into confusion. The challenge is one of perception. Will you skim over the surface, distracted by the mischief? Or will you linger, letting the eerie harmony unravel itself before you? And so, the jester leaves you here, at the precipice of understanding. The laughter lingers as a haunting echo, a constant reminder of the enigma still unsolved. This is no mere prank, no fleeting jest. It's a gauntlet thrown down with a crooked grin, a challenge carefully crafted to linger in the mind. Will you rise to meet it? Somewhere, nestled within those maddening echoes, lies your first step forward. The laughter has etched its mark into the spiraling chaos, leaving you only one task: decode the laughter. The jester waits for you to answer. If you want more no-fluff videos like this on a slow reveal of the jester's laughter contains a clue encoded in simple symbols, subscribe now and share this with one friend who follows the game.